him. He's near -200 as a favorite, 5 years younger than the Brazilian Allan Nascimento. Nascimento, an inch and a half taller, but a small half-inch edge and reach. Lies with the Englishman Hadley. Setting the table tonight in the Apex is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas for UFC Fight Night, Blachowicz versus Rakic. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 18 wins, 6 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 and 1/2 inches tall, weighing in at 125 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Allan Nascimento. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record, 8 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 125 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Old Bury Sandwell, England, Jake Whitecock Hadley. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
So as Mike Beltran readies for the assignment here and Vanessa Hansen gets our main card started, a look at Jake Hadley. Michael, some history between you two. You met him back in 2012.
I did, yeah. No, he said the other day on the fighter meetings, and I wasn't sure which way the story was going to go, because he said, yeah, you know, I met Mike back in 2012, and I went up to him, and I thought, oh, God, because this could go either way. He might say, he didn't even speak to me, but he said the opposite. He said, I gave him 15 minutes of my time, took some pictures, and it was at that moment in time, wow. He said, I will be in the UFC one day. And he was only like 13 years old, 14, something like that. So to see him here, being on the journey, and to be as accomplished as he is unbelievable. I mean, look at the speed of the strikes, how technical it is, and to have Charles Oliveira, one of the pound-for-pound greats, in your opponent's corner, that could be a problem mentally. But Jake Hadley came out very confident, but this is not a good position to be in right now.
This fight clock is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps, as we've seen action on both sides. Nascimento, full guard now, closed for Hadley from bottom position.
And this is what I was saying on the walk of Nascimento. He wants to be on top position. Of course, you know, unusual circumstances, bit of a slip, caught the kick. Look at this, looking for the omoplata.
Allan did a beautiful job catching the kick of Hadley, timing it, and tripping off the kick. And now
there it is. Going to roll.
Nice omoplata he's going to use to sweep.
Top position. Going to pull that leg out though. Be careful.
Allan's looking for a heel hook here. That's why he's that's what he's attacking.
For all the talk about Hadley at 8-0, Nascimento 18-6. This is 25th pro appearance, second in the UFC. Very close to earning a UFC contract back in 2018 on Dana White's Contender Series. Brazil was involved in a split decision against Raulian Paiva. Great fight.
Yeah, and for Jake Hadley, he's been doing this most of his life. Started very young. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at 12, boxing at 15, mixed martial arts at 17. And he's right now 25, so for 8 years he's been working specifically on a mixed martial arts career. He's just got to be careful. I mean, right now they're exchanging blows. There it is. Nascimento looking for that leg. He's still got the leg, kind of. Jake needs to pull that left leg out and try and wrap it around and the back, take the back.
Now he can use that to go for the ankle lock. That's what he wanted right there the whole time. Straight ankle lock. Hadley's doing a good job. He's getting right on the ankles and trying to keeping his toes up to the air. Really loosens the pressure on it.
Yeah, he did the right thing. He's got to pull that left leg out though. It's still in the danger zone because you're okay, and then you're not okay.
That sweep was beautiful. Beautiful sweep by Nascimento there. He went for the heel hook and was able to use the heel hook leg lock transition to create a scramble and get on top. Let's see if Hadley uses what he was saying. Sweep, submit, stand up, because so far that's what we've seen out of Allan. He got the sweep and now he's on top.
Final 2 minutes, round one.
Hadley's going to try and post, get the wizard with the left arm like he has. He's in full guard now, so he can't really do it. I was going to say post on the right arm and then try and pull a leg out, but back in full guard. Nascimento in full control here. Jake shouldn't really go for the body triangle here. He's just cementing the position.
That's what he uses it is because he's so good with that. He's so good with that, the rubber guard, the rubber guard that we've seen so much. He brings it over the top, so he goes body triangle to set up that rubber guard. He likes to bring the left leg over the top of the head, but Nascimento's not having anything to do with that. Staying very top heavy. Notice he's keeping his head under the chin of Hadley and grinding through his guard. That stops Hadley from being able to use any of that rubber guard technique because he's just grinding through his guard forward, 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 running his toes into the fence. Just like you're seeing Nascimento do, that stops any rubber guard stuff. Also keeping the heels off the hips. See how he flips his hips? It's a great job by Allan to keep the heels off the hips so that Hadley can't create the space he wants. Third point pressure straight over to mount. He's gonna look to pass that knee, but Hadley's doing a good job just staying safe while he can. The top third point pressure of Nascimento on his face with that left shoulder is what's really keeping Hadley flat on his back right now. Look how tight that left shoulder is into the chin. We've seen that a few times on the really good black belt practitioners.
Hadley trying to force something here, but final 10 seconds and a good one for Nascimento. Round two is coming up.
Deep breath, straight. Deep breath. Come through. Deep breath. Come through. In 3 now, is that 3 man? Open that wood. Open that wood, please.
At the moment, how do you feel on top? Feel heavy? No. You're playing a bit too much off your back. You're throwing up some nice ambitions, but you're playing too much off your back. You're giving him too much of a chance. That's yours, yeah? Green. You're giving him too much of a chance. Let's try, and if you have to, get back to the cage explosive. But, yeah?
I'm just striking, you were backing him up, Jake. I'm just striking you, backing him up. All right, you caught your leg and then you went down. So let's go inside leg kick instead.
When you're standing really well, but you need to move a little more, start kicking a little more. Look, start him with the cross. He's coming at you. Hit him with a cross. On the ground, always on him, a body on a body.
May's live event schedule is loaded on UFC Fight Pass. Sign up today, get 7 days free to watch rising stars from around the globe. Step into our world, the world of premier combat sports, only on UFC Fight Pass.
Look at that straight away. Hadley pushing forward, being the aggressor. Nascimento with flying knees and jumping kicks.
Oh. Charles Oliveira in the corner of Nascimento said more kicks. He is obliging through the first 20 seconds.
And he's got fast kicks as well. This is what Hadley does very well. He backs them up against the fence and from here controls, rips to the body. Oh, look at that. Beautiful takedown by Nascimento. Got to be ready for that.
Nascimento's just a step ahead right now on the sharpness. We're seeing Hadley go for that rubber guard. He's really good, but he pulls the arm right out. Nascimento, so there's not much there as long as he keeps that arm out.
What Jake needs to do now, because he can't afford this round to go down like round one, he needs to push on the head and show him the way to the fence, and then from there, do a wall walk. It's very hard out in the open. Against the fence, it's a little easier.
See how low Nascimento is on the hips of Hadley. That's stopping Hadley from being able to use his underhooks. You see, Hadley wants to get Nascimento up towards his head. Nascimento's staying low on his hips. And so that's the constant battle here. What Hadley's doing well is getting underhooks, and he's getting his legs involved. But right now, everything that Allan's doing is pressuring through the guard, stopping any of the rubber guard attempts at Hadley, which he usually gets his momentum off his back from. So once you take away that first move, he hasn't really had much for Allan on the ground.
Closes the body triangle behind him from bottom position. Now we'll see how he tries to escape.
So that's what he's got to do, Brendan. He's not trying to escape yet. You know, he's playing the game. He's on his back. He's looking for submissions. He's applying the body triangle, things like that. That's allowing the fight to fall away from him. You know, Nascimento's in control. It looks like Hadley's proficient enough in the jiu-jitsu to defend the submissions. But it doesn't matter because right now he's on his back. So, sweep, submit, stand up. Great, let's go for the last one. Let's stand up. Let's push on the head. Let's generate separation. He needs space. When you have the space, you can scramble and get back to your feet. Of course, a controlled scramble because you can't just, you know, spaz out and move in any direction against a guy like Nascimento. He's going to lock up a choke. Armbar, whatever it is, but still he needs a sense of urgency.
What you're seeing right here out of Hadley is he's looking for the sweep, but he's got to unlock his legs to stand up. So he's locking himself down in the half guard position by keeping the right leg underneath the right leg of Nascimento. He's got to get those legs out of there.
And now closes the guard again. 2 minutes to go in the second round.
The irony
That's
is
what he needs to do. He needs to push on the head. It's the first thing you do in a jiu-jitsu class. It's a shrimp. And part of that is pushing on the head. Shrimp, move a bit. Push, move a bit, move a bit. All of a sudden you're by the fence. Now you can wall walk and get back to your feet. Hitting a sweep in the open is very hard. If you have the skill, great. But if you're against a guy like Nascimento, a high-level jiu-jitsu guy, the percentage of hitting those sweeps drops massively.
Hadley's underneath. He's using the butterfly hooks well here, but Nascimento just feels all these sweeps because they're pretty fundamental. And you can practice these over and over and over and defending them. And, you know, coming from Oliveira's camp, I guarantee you he's dealt with butterfly hooks and somebody who's got a nasty guard underneath them. And so Hadley might want to use some of the single leg offense, maybe drop to a single leg because the jiu-jitsu stuff, Nascimento's had an answer for everything he's done. There's a triangle attempt here. He's almost got it. Allan felt it, pulled his arm out, got right out of it. I mean, he's just a step ahead and sees everything, Allan.
I mean, you got to remember, he's going to watch the back here, though. Now he should just explode, though, because he's halfway up. He's given up position already. So now commit to said position. Break the hands, turn into your man. At least he finished the round on his feet. That'll give him a little encouragement going into the third. But in the third round, if it gets there, Jake, Hadley cannot afford, under any circumstance, to be on his back. For Nascimento, business as usual. Keep doing what you're doing. He's training with the guy that has the most submissions in the history of the organization, is Charles Oliveira. That's such an advantage for him. You know, hitting the ground, playing these games, Nascimento has got the best person in the world to train with on a daily basis.
Hadley able to return to his feet. Third round is coming up.
Respira. Respira.
Breathe, breathe. Again, we're perfect on the ground. Everything we're doing, following his hip. If we try to get into half guard, listen, when you get to half guard, just try to break into, just try to get your knee in, try to get your hip in to press him down. Okay. Like, you know, he's got his strongest arm is the right arm, so we need to nullify that. No, not in a hurry. All right, keep going, Charles. Keep going.
Work off the jab.
Possibly could be two down. Possibly could be two down.
Yeah, you're two down.
We need to work now, this kid. We need to work now. Don't let him have this takedown.
Jake, work your strikes. Work your strikes. Yeah.
Let's go, Jake.
Get the finish on this kid, Jake.
Let's go, Jake.
Presenting UFC X, the premier two-day fan experience at International Fight Week on Friday, July 1st and Saturday, July 2nd. Do not miss the unparalleled access to UFC athletes and fan-favorite attractions. You can scan that QR code on your screen to get your tickets now. The game plan is pretty clear for Hadley. You would think he needs a finish if he wants to get his hand raised here.
Well, this is how he started every round. I mean, he has certainly tried. He's been the aggressor. He's gone forward. But there it is. I mean, that's huge.
Oh, he goes guillotine right away. And now it's Hadley in dominant position on the ground.
And this is exactly what he needed. However, got to be careful. Nascimento's a tricky customer down there, as we've seen.
Now we get to see how Hadley's top game is. We've seen his bottom game, and we've seen Nascimento's top game. Now we get to switch it around and see if Hadley can do anything with this position.
I think the reality is for Hadley, though, is that he needs a finish. He's trying to lock up a Doris choke there. See that right hand coming down under. It's a little hard, though, because Nascimento has that other arm, the left arm, so high.
Vai começar o desespero. Sem pressa. Isso, sai de novo. Sai nas pernas dele porque aí você raspa longe. Isso, bem longe, bem longe.
Nicely
tá longe,
defended.
perfeito. Se arruma.
Left leg's caught again.
Continua no pé, tá perfeito. Fica esperto
Arm triangle, but he won't be able to get that leg out there.
He's going to chip it off. Look at that. Now he's got a body triangle there. Or a thigh triangle.
It's locked in, but he's got a weird angle on it.
Yeah. Nascimento needs to be two shoulders on the canvas. Right now it's just one. That means you can't quite get as much power and tightness that you need. You need that shoulder driving into the neck of Nascimento for that choke to work. But you see Hadley here turning it on, being aggressive, trying to take the back.
Nascimento has his corner in his ear, giving him direction step by step, so that will help. That does help 100%.
Trying to get the hooks in. He's going to want to flatten him out if he does so.
And he's able to create
so nicely.
Nascimento with defense, and now he'll go to work. And time now the enemy of Jake Hadley.
What it's come down to in this fight is Nascimento has a little bit better grappling transitions, and he's won in all the scrambles against Hadley. Right now he's got this Darce choke in. It's not sunk in as deep as he needs, but it still is it still is sunk in there. As long as Hadley has a half guard, it relieves a little bit of pressure from the Darce.
It's still very worrisome, though.
I mean,
It's not a good position.
Darce locked is a Darce locked. You got to respect it. But as long as he's got that half guard, he buys himself space to breathe.
And that was a situation where Hadley knew he had to go for something at this stage of the fight, and it backfired.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he was in full control of this round. He knew he needed a finish. Got a little reckless, but I kind of admire that. You know, you got to take chances when you're in the position that he is in this fight.
Nascimento keeping the pressure.
The irony is Nascimento's lost a couple fights exactly the way that we're seeing Hadley lose to Nascimento. So you're seeing that Allan has made the adjustments in his game through his losses, and he's using that same tactic against Hadley here.
Nicely adjusted there because Nascimento tried to take the back. Hadley turned with the momentum and the movement, but he's going to get up here. He's in a position to explode up. Obviously, he's got the weight of Nascimento on top of him, trying for an ankle pick. There he goes.
Hadley back on his feet, Nascimento pressuring. The UFC Venom Fight Week collection is back in stock. The collection features everyday t-shirts, dry tech t-shirts, fight shorts, compression shorts, and track suits. Don't miss out. Visit UFCstore.com today to get your Fight Week gear. Final minute, back and forth they go.
I mean, this is entertaining grappling. Back and forth they do go, Brendan. It's a nasty friction burn on the knee of Nascimento. That's going to hurt in the shower.
Yeah. That's the sign of back and forth on the mat for the better part of 3 rounds now.
Nice sweep there. It was the forced guillotine attempt at Hadley that gave that. He's just trying to finish the fight the best he can. And it gives up the position to Allan. Allan looking to finish the fight on top to really win it in the scorecards and in the judges' eyes. About almost 9 minutes of control time for Allan versus 3 minutes of control time, 3.5 minutes of control time.
And not content to just apply the pressure on the ground. Nascimento hammering away as he looks for his first UFC win. And as the seconds tick down, he appears poised to get it here in Las Vegas. The corner going crazy for the Brazilian, Allan Nascimento. We'll get the official decision when we come back.
blindado o tempo todo hoje. O tempo todo blindado hoje. O tempo todo blindado hoje. Tudo seu. O tempo todo blindado. Ganhou a grana, moleque. Eu sabia também. Eu sabia. A camiseta?
UFC Fight Night is presented by Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. And in part by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey, one for all. 3 rounds in the books. At 125 pounds, this fight decision is brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 with a winner by unanimous decision, Allan